What's up, everybody? Welcome back to FFT. I'm Trevor, and today we're talking about my personal 3 worst values when it comes to each position. So we're going to look at quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. We're going to look at their ADP, and we're also going to look at potentially better values when it comes to each round. Let's check it out. Okay, guys, so I'm going to condense this list down into this one video for you guys because I know drafts are coming and they're coming quick. So I'm going to get this information out to you. I'm going to try to consolidate it all down. I'm going to give you my personal 3 worst values at each of these positions. So let me know if you disagree, but let's go ahead and start it off with quarterbacks. The first worst value or bad value at the quarterback position for me is Joe Burrow. I think just with his injury at the beginning of the season, he was wearing that calf sleeve even before he got hurt preseason. So it's kind of showing that something's already there. He's already working through something. If I'm getting a quarterback this early at the end of the 3rd round, I'm going for somebody like Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes, somebody like that has a little bit more stability at the position. So if you're going for somebody outside of a quarterback at the end of the 3rd round, which is something I recommend, you're looking at people like Jahmyr Gibbs, Devonta Smith, Mark Andrews, which would be a game changer at the tight end position, Keenan Allen, who year over year helps people win leagues. So those are the people that I would recommend over Joe Burrow. Number 2, at the quarterback position, Deshaun Watson, or as some people call him, Voldemort. All right, he's going at the end of the 7th round. Even if he does happen to be better this year, which I don't think he is going to be better than he was last year. If you look at last year at the end of the season, he was horrible. Bad passer rating, horrible rankings, did not give your team any sort of value at the quarterback position. And also, even if he, let's say he happens to be great, do you really want somebody on your team that you personally don't want to be rooting for? I know it's fantasy football and you don't really care about the character of the player, but I do. That's something that I think about when I'm putting somebody on my team is, can I actually root for this person on my fantasy team? Even if he's great, I can't root for him. So let's look at other people at the end of the 7th that you could be taking over Deshaun Watson. So you could be taking people like George Pickens, who could have a breakout year. Just Jahan Dotson, same thing. Deontay Johnson. Quentin Johnston, the rookie. James Cook, who could be awesome this year. And have an incredible breakout season. So all players that I would take over Deshaun Watson. Tua Tagovailoa is my number 3, and I love the guy to death. He's going at the beginning of the 8th round, but I just can't take him because of the risk to injury. After watching him go down, was it 2 or 3 times maybe last year with concussions? If he takes one bad hit this season, he's done, and you lose out on your value for the quarterback spot. So other players that I would take at this position over Tua, Gabe Davis, who let's say Stephon Diggs doesn't play all 17 games, he could have a huge role. Samaje Perine, same thing with Javonte Williams. If Javonte isn't as good as everyone's saying or as healthy as everyone's saying, Samaje Perine could be the RB1 at the Denver Broncos at some point. Even if he's not, he still has good value. And then Anthony Richardson is the other person I would take at this spot over Tua. I know they're both kind of risky picks in different ways for different reasons, but I would prefer the risk of Anthony Richardson over Tua any day, every day. So those are my 3 kind of worst values for quarterback. Let's go ahead and jump down into running backs now. My first bad sort of value for running back is Ramondre Stevenson. He's going at the beginning to the middle of the 3rd round. I think his ADP drops down a little bit. It hasn't quite hit that. It hasn't hit or dropped to where I would take him quite yet, only because of Ezekiel Elliott. I think his presence now in the backfield takes away touchdowns from Ramondre Stevenson, and I think that hurts his value quite a bit. Also, you could be taking people like Jalen Hurts at the middle of the 3rd, or I'm not a QB guy. I'd be taking people like Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Josh Jacobs, Travis Etienne. These are all tremendous value picks in my opinion. So over Ramondre Stevenson, it's such an early round to be taking a little bit of a risk on a guy who's now sharing the backfield. Number 2, J.K. Dobbins. Year after year, people are high on this guy. I understand why. He's got talent, but he hasn't been able to prove it yet because he's been hurt. Last year was he showed some flashes, but the year before that, I don't think he played at all. And the year before that, he had some good weeks as well, but nothing worth a middle to early 5th round pick on this guy, in my opinion. I'm not taking J.K. Dobbins on a team where Lamar Jackson is running the ball instead of the running back all the time. And plus, it looks like they're going to be passing the ball more this year than any of the previous years as well. So there's a lot of reasons why I'm avoiding J.K. Dobbins. I'm picking players like Travis Lawrence, Jerry Jeudy, Cam Akers, who could have a tremendous year, Alexander Mattison, same thing, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, if you're looking for a tight end. Middle of the 5th round, I'm looking at these guys over J.K. Dobbins. All right, number 3, Dalvin Cook. He's going at the end of the 6th round, so not super early. But why is he going at the end of the 6th round? There's people like Tyler Lockett, Kyle Pitts, Rachaad White, Mike Williams here in this slot instead. I think Dalvin Cook's going this high because of his name. I don't even think he's going to be the starting running back for the Jets. You have Breece Hall there. I know he's hurt, but even if Dalvin Cook starts at the beginning of the season, I think that script flips partway through the season. And so you're paying a 6th round pick for a guy that isn't even the RB1 on his team potentially early on in the season. So those are my 3 running backs. Let's take a look now at wide receivers. So my first bad value at wide receiver is Cooper Kupp. He's going in the middle to the end of the 1st round. I would take anyone else besides Cooper Kupp right now. I know that if he shows up, so the reason he's not somebody that I want to pick in the middle of the 1st is the risk factor for this guy. I think the risk factor is huge. I think the potential that he gets hurt. He's already been hurt preseason. I'm not spending a 1st round pick on a risk this early in the draft. I can't have my 1st round guy be out for the entire season or miss a lot of games, and that's what you're potentially getting with Cooper Kupp. I'm picking people like Tyreek Hill. I'm picking Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, all these guys, Saquon Barkley, all these guys over Cooper Kupp. I want to avoid that injury as much as I can. So I can't take him 1st round. I just can't. Number 2, wide receiver, bad values, T. Higgins. He's going middle of the 3rd round. Again, this is where I'm picking guys that I love that have huge upside, the ability to be a top 3 wide receiver, top 5 wide receiver. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle. If you want your quarterback early, Patrick Mahomes. So T. Higgins sharing the backfield with Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow's hurt, like I said. I don't think the value's there for a 3rd round pick. I just don't for T. Higgins. Number 3, DeAndre Hopkins. Incredible talent, bad team. I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, so trust me when I say Ryan Tannehill's not that bad, but the offensive line is. All right, he's also going to be sharing targets with Treylon Burks. The defense or the team is revolves around Derrick Henry anyway. They're not a huge pass heavy offense, so taking him in the 4th round, into the 4th round, but still 4th round pick is hard to do. I'm looking at people like Calvin Ridley, who look to be awesome coming back in the preseason. People like Justin Herbert. Again, if you want your quarterback early, Justin Herbert's going in this spot. Miles Sanders, Amari Cooper, all these guys, I'm probably personally taking over DeAndre Hopkins. All right, last position, my bottom 3 for tight ends. You already know it's coming, but Travis Kelce. I am not taking a tight end in the 1st round. Even though this guy, he's 33. He's a year older than me. If I play basketball one day and I can't move the next day, I can only imagine how this guy feels after playing a game in the NFL, getting hit by 200, 300-pound guys. No way that this guy just continues to excel in his mid-30s. It's just not going to happen. Well, I'm going to be proven wrong. He's going to live to play until he's until it's 2040, and he's going to be 50 years old. Watch me be wrong, but I'm not taking him as a 1st round pick. I'm looking at anybody else in the 1st round. Number 2, Evan Ingram. He's going in the middle of the 8th. I'm looking at a million other people here in the middle of the 8th with huge upside, like JSN, Javonte Williams. If he's as healthy as everyone's saying, Javonte Williams, RB1 for the Denver Broncos in the middle of the 8th, heck yeah, I'm taking him over Evan Ingram. Faux show. Mike Evans. Everyone's hating on Mike Evans. I don't like him as a person, but he's got the talent, and he continues to do it year after year. Middle of the 8th round, I'm taking him over Evan Ingram for sure. Last but not least, Dawson Knox. I don't even know if he's really worth putting on this list. He's going at the end of the 14th round. So a lot of people aren't even picking him up because now you've got Dalton Kincaid there. So what I would probably recommend doing instead of picking up Dawson Knox is picking up like a riskier tight end one, and then like a Chigakonkwo who has a huge potential, and then maybe picking up like a Dalton Kincaid as a backup who is showing all the right signs in preseason and in training camp. So I'm also looking at guys like Tyler Higbee, Dalton Schultz, Sam Laporta, all these sorts of guys. I'm not picking a Dawson Knox who, even when he wasn't sharing the backfield, didn't have incredible games. I had him on my team last year. He had a couple good weeks, but nothing to brag about. So anyway, those are my worst values for each of these positions. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know if I'm wrong. Leave a comment down below. Otherwise, please like and subscribe to this video. It helps me out a ton. Lets me know that you guys are interested in more FFT content. But stay tuned. I'm going to be making some videos on post-draft analysis. If you guys think that you ended up with a bad team, bad roster, I'm going to be making some videos on how to help you out, whether it's waivers, trades. I'll be coming out with some more content about that sort of stuff and help you guys out from now through the season. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you checking out this video. Until next time, I'll catch you later. See you guys.